My guest today is James Smith Williams, and James is a defensive end for the Washington Commanders. Now, he'll be back here in a few months looking to throw Dak Prescott to the ground, but for the moment, he's here in town because he was working on a photo and video shoot for a group called Set the Expectation. It's a nonprofit that deals with violence against women, sexual violence in particular. James, tell us why this appealed to you, that you took time out to come all the way to Texas and be a part of supporting this organization.
Yes, I've known Brenda, the founder of SC, for a very long time, and she called me and said, would I come down here and partake in this? As kind of our journey as continuing to grow together. And when I met her in college, just her call to action after she gave her story, which is, if you're a good man, what are you doing to be a good man? Help those around you who don't particularly look like you. And that has just stuck with me for the past, 4 or 5 years, and it's continued me along this journey that led me here today.
Brenda Tracy, who started Set the Expectation, was a survivor of a rape by football players. And so certainly the sport of football has a bad reputation in this area. Why do you feel like football can be part of the solution?
Yeah, I think the platform is just incredibly large. The reach that football players have here in America especially is just one that allows us to reach from, the youngest child in small, rural areas to older adults. It's all over the country, all demographics. Everyone loves football, it seems to be, right? So you have this incredible platform and we have the ability to use it. And football is full of extraordinarily great men, great fathers, great brothers, great sons, that these are guys who I believe can really champion this cause and just be who they are and just let the world see that, and it'll really probably inspire a lot of people who look up to them.
Are there good things about the football team as a unit and the locker room in particular and that bond you share that can be conducive to conveying messages of being one of the good men who's not going to commit sexual or domestic violence?
Yeah, no, the locker room is a wonderful place because we have this bond that we've built over years of trust and love for each other, that when we speak, it's very honest, it's very sincere. So you can have these very real conversations, day in, day out, people who really care for you as a person and want the best for you. So I think the locker room is a very unique place. It's a very, it's just a place where so much growth can happen as an individual and as a man, on all levels, that I think this is an issue that can definitely be addressed a lot in locker rooms, and you will see trickle out into daily living and, guys' platforms as well, things they post and stuff like that.
James played college football for North Carolina State, and then he was drafted into the Washington Commanders organization, at the time known as the Washington football team, in the 7th round. That summer, there was a controversy in which Washington's front office was accused of improprieties toward women. James reacted to that. Tell us what you did and why.
Yes, I sat down with kind of my team of Brenda and my agents, the PR team, and I just presented them a letter I felt I should, publish online on Twitter. And for me, it was a very simple thing to do because it was just the right thing to do. This has been my platform since I've been in college for a couple years prior, and I've been drafted into a situation where I believe, God placed me for a reason, right? I mean, it's quite a coincidence. So for me, it was just continuing along with what I had been doing the years prior and addressing the allegations with the statement. I think it just allowed me to support survivors, and still believe in what I stand for and show that publicly.
And keep in mind, it took a bit of moxie to do this because James was a 7th round pick. He hadn't even made the active roster yet. Now, since then, he's established himself certainly as a legitimate NFLer, but at the time, it could have backfired on him, and it didn't. And so that's certainly to your credit. So thinking about what you did, somebody that's watching this, a man especially, what's something he can do to be part of the solution? Yeah,
I mean, there's so many ways. I would honestly say the best place to start is with those around them, right? We all have our best friends, our guy friends, we have our conversations. And I think that is the focal point of just kind of growing this message as a whole, is having accountability to others who just don't look like us or different genders, everything like that. I think that's the first place to start. And then, get involved in your local community. There's domestic violence shelters all over the world who need a lot of help, right? Especially, I'm sure there's several here in Dallas that could really use, time, money, resources. So, if you really care about this issue, then just have that conversation.
And James has put in his time helping domestic violence shelters and such. One thing that Brenda Tracy always talks about is I asked her one time about did she have a favorite football team she followed. And she said she roots for the good guys. And so while I realize it would be difficult for those of us who were raised as Cowboy fans to consider supporting the Washington Commanders, certainly we can at least hope that James piles up sacks against the Eagles and the Giants.
There we go.
We will at least offer you that.
I can live with that.
So last question, it was pointed out to me that we both have the facial hair thing going. So describe the evolution of this righteous beard.
Yeah, so I've had a goatee since I was probably like 14. It probably didn't connect anywhere, but I had it. And then as I got through college, I had some spotty facial hair, so I've been just trying to nurture it and, beard oil, wash and condition it and see what it'll become. So I'm pretty proud of the journey so far.
You put a lot more effort into it than I have with mine. Well, James, thank you. And for James Smith Williams, for the Fort Worth Weekly, I'm Rush Olson.